This is an actual puzzle that was released back in the vintage era of Star Wars, and look at it. They use Kenner toys. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's time to talk Star Wars. It's been a few days probably since we talked Star Wars. Now, if you're new to the channel, you're thinking, what, is this a Star Wars channel? This is a toy channel? No, we talk Generation X. We talk things from the 70s. Hell, we even dug into the 60s, maybe into the 80s, into the 90s, and we just talk about whatever we want to on this channel, but it's mostly for us that grew up Generation X. You know, the best generation ever. Anyway, today we're going to look at 20 items from the vintage era of Star Wars. When I say the vintage era of Star Wars, of course, I'm talking about 1977 to about 1985. You know, at least before the 90s, before the prequels, before the special edition, before Disney bought Star Wars. We're not talking about those eras today. We're talking Star Wars. Back when Star Wars was called Star Wars. You know, now it's A New Hope. And I accept that. Since about 1982, it's been called A New Hope. And that's okay with me. But we're going to go back and look at some things you've probably never seen before, unless maybe you've been subscribed to this channel for a long time, of Star Wars. So let's dig into it. How about this? An ad for a Star Wars kite. You might have seen a Star Wars kite, but you've never seen a Star Wars kite offer, have you? And only 95 cents. No, the ad's not 95 cents. This kite is. Yeah, a Star Wars kite from a company called KP. Oh, look at that. Makes you want to go to the beach right now with the yarn and string and rope and all that. I never could get a kite to fly. Could you? I could never get a kite to do more than I can never do a kite. Never. But while you're busy out there on the beach with your stepfather trying to bond and fly a kite, I was looking at Star Wars stuff you've never seen before. Like this right here. Oh, crunchy peanut butter Empire Strikes Back. What's it say? Has a what? Collector trading card inside. I don't want a trading card stuck in crunchy peanut butter. I don't know about you, but I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that? I bet you haven't. Check out this right here. A big bottle of Cola Conga. I never even heard of Cola Conga. Look, it's got Star Wars action figures on it from Return of the Jedi. Kenner Star Wars figures. Or this might be PAL toys. Might not. Kenner mold. We'll say that, you know, so we don't have to argue in the comment section. There you go. 2 liter. 2 liter. Remember they used to make 3 liter? Didn't they used to make 3 liter? Remember that? Let's move on. Check out, I don't know why the pictures are moving slow. Check out this right here. The glass bottle of Coke, but look at the box. Let me get over here so you can see me. Shit. Look at the box you put it in. It's got the escape pod on it. On the backside, I have Luke and I think it was Obi-Wan on the back of it right there. First, I thought it was Luke and Uncle Owen. Who in the hell would put Uncle Owen on a box to get people to buy? There you go, right there. Now, of course, a lot of these are items not released in the U.S. because if you're like me, if it was released in the U.S., you've probably seen it. But there you go. That's kind of cool. Now, we all seen bottles with Star Wars on it, but this is cool to have that packaging. That's really dang cool right there. Check out this right here, too. High C, a can of High C with R2D2 and C3PO on it. Who thought you would see the day? Man, orange drink. Remember that? Orange, remember the High C and Kool-Aid? You have a big old pitcher of it in the summertime. And you put it in there, put a lot of sugar in it, stir it up with a wooden spoon. You had to stir it with a wooden spoon. I don't know why. You had to stir it, unless your cousin Eddie's daughter and you stir it with your hand. But I'm talking about normal people here. A wooden spoon. But there you go. High C, man. It gives a punch. Check out this right here, things you've never seen. I don't know what it is. Cottage cheese? I don't even know what this is myself. Doran? All I know is it's got a scout trooper on it. Look like he's hiding from an Ewok. I like anything with a scout trooper on it, and I've never seen this. Maybe it's butter.
Parquet.
Maybe it's butter.
Parquet.
Maybe it's butter.
It's parquet.
It ain't, it's butter. Let's move on right here. How about this right here? A comic book from Cornflakes. You ever seen a Star Wars comic book from Cornflakes? Kellogg's Cornflakes, that is. I've never seen that either. It looks like it comes with a free toy that's on one of those little plastic racks that you got to tear the toys off yourself. Don't you hate that? Then the turtles always do. I hated that. I don't want to, hey, I know you save us some money so you don't got to hire somebody at a factory, but come on, you only paying them 12 cents. But there we go, Return of the Jedi Cornflakes. Name the planet competition inside. That'd be cool. Well, okay, probably be a bad edit there. Never mind. Let's look at the next one. This Star Wars board game. You ever seen this? You seen the Escape from the Death Star game? Oh, excuse me, Escape from Death Star. They don't never say the Death Star. Escape from the Death Star. But Escape from Death Star game that we saw. Everybody's seen that thing 100,000 times. But have you ever seen this board game? I haven't. I can't even read what it says, but I'm sure it says something about Star and something about Wars because it's a Star Wars one. There it is, right there, Star Wars. Well, let's move on. How about Darth Vader bubble bath in a damn paint can? You ever see that? No, you haven't never seen that. One that's got that little ball in a paint can and you shake it and it makes that little rattling. I used to love that. What's in there? Me and my friend Boy used to try to bust into them all the time and get the ball out. I could never get them open. We could never get them open. What was that little ball? Why did it have a ball in it? Somebody's gonna tell me in the comment. Well, you see the ball with the paint mixture, and I don't. You can tell me. I guess I don't care. But go ahead. I'm kind of curious. Kind of curious about that. Usually I say, don't tell me. I don't care. But I am kind of curious about that one. But there you go. Damn Darth Vader in a paint can. Bubble bath. That's right. You can have soap bubbles around your testicles. All right. How about a return of that? How about a Return of the Jedi scratch pad? No, it's not a pad where you just scratch it right there. It'd be kind of cool if you scratch it and it reveals a picture from Return of the Jedi. That'd be cool. And at first I was like, well, what was in there? You got a color, like a coloring book or something? And then once I started reading about it, I was like, duh, stupid Junkman. It's a sketch pad. It's just empty pieces of paper where you can draw whatever you want onto it. But I guess you Star Wars, you can draw a lot of Star. I used to take my notebook at school, turn it sideways, landscape mode. I didn't like, a lot of you, when it comes to a notebook, you can do portrait mode like you're on TikTok or something, where you can turn it landscape like you're on YouTube. And I used to do like a building on this side and a building on this side and draw some little land, one big crew drawing. And I have these X-Wings on this side, TIE fighters on this side, and people running around, little tanks on the bottom, and you let them shoot each. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm telling you guys. You don't care about my stupid little drawings that you do in the second grade when I should have been listening to the teacher. She's like, oh my God, that kid's never gonna understand what the pronouns are. How he's gonna play manlibs. He's not listening. He's drawing battlefields on a piece of paper. Let's look at something else you've never seen from the vinegar of Star Wars. Father and son soap. I hope that wasn't a spoiler. Father and son soap. Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader share soap. Well, they don't share the soap. It's two different bars. But if you had a twin brother, y'all could share soap. One could have Luke Skywalker. One could have Darth Vader. You rub it all over your body, and then the next day, swap them out. Now your brother's got Darth Vader, and you got Luke Skywalker. And y'all, I hope there's no little hairs on the soap. I hope there's no little hairs on the soap. I'm disgusting myself. Let's move on. How about this? You've seen the Star Wars toothbrush. We all saw that, right? Well, here's an early mock-up of what the package was going to look like before they changed it. What did it look like? Look like this right here. What was it going to look like? This right here. I have to go with the other one with the little cheesy kid on brushing his teeth. I have to go for that one. Let's look at another. This is an actual puzzle that was released back in the vintage era of Star Wars, and look at it. They use Kenner toys. This thing's rare. I would love to have this. Well, I don't know. I'm not really good at putting puzzles together, but if I had it, I might would. I would like to have the box. The box would be kind of cool. Or the puzzle. Glue it together, hang on the wall. My brother did that with a Kenner Star Wars a puzzle of Luke Skywalker. Let me start all over. My brother did that with a Kenner puzzle of Star Wars with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fighting when they made an X with the lightsabers. He glued it together and hung it on the wall. I never saw that. I can never finish a puzzle. Always be one piece missing. I find it 2 hours later, stuck right here by my elbow. But anyway, look at this. I'm going to blow it up so you can look at it real good. Yes, Star Wars Kenner figures on a puzzle. Here's the other one right here. More Kenner Star Wars figures. This thing's pretty awesome. Now, these two puzzles were supposed to be the last things we looked at in the video, but apparently I didn't put these in the right order, so let's move on. Kenner box of Star Wars Luke Skywalker action figures. The original Luke Skywalker. No, you don't have to say that F word around here. We don't say the F word. No. I'll say it this one time just for the new people watching. Farm boy Luke. You don't have to say that. When you talk about Han Solo, you don't say smuggler Han Solo. You don't talk about Princess Leia and say bun Princess Leia. No. Luke Skywalker. That's all you have to say. But which one is it? You know which one it is. The one called Luke Skywalker. All the other ones called something else. Luke Skywalker, Jedi Luke Skywalker. There you go. Bespin Luke Skywalker. Hoth Luke Skywalker. Indoor Luke Skywalker. See, all the ones have a hyphen and a little extra name to it. So just say Luke Skywalker. You don't have to use, I hate that word. I hate it. You don't do that because you don't do it for Han Solo. You don't do it for Princess Leia. Why does some people want to call him farm boy? It's stupid. Please. And as Aunt Peru said, he's no farm boy. Anyway, what is this? This is a box of Luke Skywalker figures that went out to a theater. They were at theaters were giving away figures back around this time promoting Star Wars, and I bet a lot of them here was double lightsaber Luke. But did you ever see a box of them? Bet you hadn't, but now you have. How about this right here? You think it's a record, like a little 45 record. You're going to get it. Try to put it on your turntable at home. You're not going to be able to play anything. It's going to ruin your needle. You know why? Because it's bubble gum. It's bubble gum. That's right. Bubble gum is shaped like a record. Ain't that cool? I think it's really darn cool. And how about a Return of the Jedi Darth Vader memo pad? Now you can take notes. Your little sister does something wrong, take a note. Your friend doesn't study for the big test, take a note. You can take a note whatever you want to. You can have a whole schedule of when your best friend takes his bowel movements. I don't care what you write in it, but you can write whatever. Or you can just draw a little picture on each one and flip it and make a little cartoon out of it. I don't care what you do with it, but there it is, Darth Vader memo, mini memo. How about this? Star Wars on a can of pork and beans. Pork and beans with 8 grilled pork sausages inside.
Little old 12-ounce goddamn roll of sausage supposed to feed 600 pounds of men and the 2 girls, and they put it in that pussy roll of sausage. Save money, yeah, save money. I want to eat, goddammit.
And you get, what do you get? A Star Wars school kit. Man, and it's only $1.70. That's all you have to pay for it. You think you've seen that before? You think you ever seen some beans and Star Wars on the same thing? No, you haven't. I thought it was a Star Wars ball, or maybe a Star Wars Christmas morning, but they said it was a Star Wars eraser. Okay, if that's what they said it was, that's what it was. Doesn't look like a damn eraser to me, but there it is, Star Wars eraser with Darth Vader and a stormtrooper. Looks like a sand trooper. You didn't see sand troopers hardly at all back in them days. No, you didn't. They was just put a generic stormtrooper on stuff. Didn't really get I don't know. It's a sand trooper. I can't tell if it's got the shoulder thing on it, but it's got the big long gun. So we're gonna move on. How about a character stationary? Look at this. It's got an eraser. It's got that mini pad again, but it's not Darth Vader. It's on Solo. You got some other thing. That might be an eraser. I don't know. You got something else in there. I don't know. Some kind of little school supplies. Look like I have a pencil in it. I don't see a pencil, but large that. I've never seen that picture of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader's head all together like that. That's weird. That's from the Return of the Jedi collection. But believe it or not, that was it. That was 20 items from the Star Wars vintage era that you've never seen before. Now, go to the comments section. Tell me how you've seen all these. I've seen these. I see this every time I go to work or whatever you got to tell me. Because I'm sure you're going to tell me you've seen them before. But I bet there's at least one here you never, probably more than that. I bet there's most of them you've never seen before. Anyway, let me know that, more, whatever. You can tell me I'm a jack. Whatever you want to say, put in the comments below.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.